Good morning. Looks like we're going to see a nice dry hot forecast as we head through this afternoon and going in through the next several days, including the 4th on Friday, as we've taken rain out of the forecast. High pressure building in and looks like it's going to be hot, but at least it'll be dry, it looks like, as we head towards the holiday. I'm meteorologist Jeff Gerber. Thanks for joining us on this stream here at 11:30. We'll be doing it every morning at 11:30 until further notice. We'll keep you updated on what the weather's doing. Today we're going to take a look at the Saharan dust and the kind of milky sky out there. We're going to be taking a look at the tropics. There is something the Hurricane Center is looking at over towards parts of the southeastern U.S., not affecting us, but maybe over towards Florida as we head towards the holiday weekend. And we'll also just be taking a quick look at what's going on around the rest of the country as far as the weather is concerned, is taking a look at radar and satellite and see where active weather is across the lower 48. All right, let's take a look at this phone number. First off, this is the number you can text us. If you have any questions, you can always text us at this number, and we'll try to get to it and take a look and answer your questions. Matter of fact, I'll take a look at the phone and try to answer any questions we get during this stream, which will go to about 11:45. But it's 409-749-9302. If you can, just write it down, and you don't necessarily have to text a question today, but if you ever have a question about the weather, you can always text us, and we look at the phone from time to time and we'll answer your question back. Once again, 409-749-9302, and go ahead and text that number and we'll try to get back to you as quick as we can. You can't call the number, we won't answer the phone, but you can text us at that number and we'll try to answer the question. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the forecast. Looks hot and dry. Temperature's going to be up around 92 around 2 o'clock. By 3 o'clock, we could be 93, 94, and then we'll drop back to around 90 or at least the upper 80s by 6 p.m. and then lower 80s by 10 o'clock as we'll see those hot, humid conditions out there. Make sure you're staying hydrated out there for this afternoon through the next several days as we'll get up into the middle 90s. Also, you make sure you're giving yourself a little bit of a break from time to time out in the heat if you have to work out outside. As we look at the allergy report, tree is still 0, just not the time of year for tree pollen. Weed is up, it's at 26. Grass is down to around 2, and then over 11,000 on mold, which is medium. So mold is about the same. Medium on weed, that's up from yesterday. So if you're sneezing a little bit more today, it might be because of the weed out there. I want to take a quick look into the holiday since we were talking about it. Firecracker forecast. This is around 9 o'clock on Friday when they send off the fireworks here in the Beaumont area. Should be a beautiful night for it. Lower 80s, so it'd be nice and warm, mostly clear skies. A slight chance of an isolated shower, but I don't really think that's going to be an issue at all. And winds will be light, so it looks like a great evening out there. Maybe head downtown Beaumont and check out some of the fireworks down there, or wherever you are. And if you're in your little town somewhere and you're having a fireworks display, should be a great night. This is basically the forecast for all of southeast Texas, from the lakes area all the way down here towards the coast. So looking good for Friday. If you have any outdoor activities planned for Friday evening, no problem at all. Friday afternoon also doesn't look bad. It's just going to be very hot with those temperatures there into the middle 90s. As we take a look outside, we're looking at our view from Pack of the Prey. We're looking at the port of Beaumont, partly cloudy skies, and typically we would see blue over here, some blue areas, but it looks kind of gray, kind of murky or dirty, however you want to call it. That's that Saharan dust we were talking about yesterday coming into the area, and it just kind of makes the sky a little milky looking, filters out the sunshine a little bit, doesn't give us those crystal blue skies that we like to see in between some of these cumulus clouds. So we're going to see these kind of conditions, it looks like, at least through the next couple of days, and finally the dust should start to clear out just a little bit. Of course, we go from the dusty skies to looking for gators, and there might be one there up in the trees, yeah, our gator cam out there towards Finette, we've been looking at some of these gators all morning, watching them float around. Once again, this is part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network, and yeah, I think you notice gators don't like the heat as well. I've noticed that they like to go for the shade as well, kind of stay in the shade from time to time, or at least be in the water with just their nose sticking out. They're not sitting there on the bank really sunning themselves too much when it gets hot. All right, let's go back to looking at some of these sky cams where we can actually see the sky, and you can see that milky kind of grayish sky over towards Port Arthur. This camera brought you by Market Basket, and just not any rain. It looks like it might rain a little bit, but it's not going to rain. It's just going to be these conditions with some of that Sierra and dust around the area. Let's take a look at what we're looking at for this morning. You can see a large area of that dust is coming in to the Gulf Coast, including right here in southeast Texas. Now, as we go through time, we'll go towards the end of the week. You notice it does start to shrink a little bit in size, and things will clear out as we head towards the weekend. But right now, we're just dealing with a big, large area of that dust, so that's why we're continuing to see it over the area. Now, that's good news because the dust also keeps our temperatures down slightly. Also, what am I trying to say, is really kind of puts a little bit of a damper on the rain that we've been having, and it helps out in the tropics with that dust. Hard for a hurricane to form when you don't have perfect conditions, and with this dust around, that's not perfect conditions. So that's good news for out into the tropics as well. All right, our temperatures right now, we're generally looking at upper 80s, already into the lower 90s in Orange at about 92. 88 up in Jasper, 89 Woodville, Kirbyville's at 89, 88 in Silsbee, 86 here in Beaumont, and then in Port Arthur we were just looking at about 87 degrees there. As we check satellite or just radar, and not seeing much out there for right now. Might be a couple isolated showers down towards Cameron Parish. Haven't seen a whole lot there. Very quiet, and we're expecting quiet conditions through the afternoon. If we see anything today or through the next several days, it would be a lone shower, very isolated shower, and just don't see a whole lot of those with high pressure overhead. I think we'll be okay. If you have any outdoor say projects you want to get done, be careful in the heat, but you should be looking at dry weather for a while. All right, let's check out what's going on across the state. We have this front across northern parts of Texas, back into parts of central west Texas. It's creating a few showers. You can see some showers over towards Lubbock. I've had some rain up towards Wichita Falls for this morning. Continue to see some scattered showers there. Some good news is some of this moisture coming up through the Rio Grande Valley, some much needed rainfall down through South Texas. They've been getting it from, say, Brownsville up towards San Antonio, and definitely the hill country there between San Antonio and Del Rio has been getting some good rains for today. Cloudy skies and some good rains for them. But you notice East Texas here clearing out a little bit, not looking too bad, and we'll see quiet conditions, I think, for the next several days. Let's look around the rest of the country real quick, and except for Texas here, once you get past Texas, it's been pretty dry from New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, all the way out towards the west coast. Really not much going on, a few clouds here and there, but not much in the way of any active weather at all. Very dry forecast. And then as you look towards, say, the east coast, a little bit different story. There is some moisture working its way up through the Tennessee Valley over towards parts of New England. Looks like northern Maine getting some pretty heavy rain today. Pennsylvania, back in Ohio, West Virginia getting some pretty good showers, a few thunderstorms. That's coming all the way down in, like I said, parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. So a little bit wet there. And then we have a cluster of some showers and thunderstorms that's been sitting across the northeastern corner of the Gulf of Mexico, and we'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a second. First, let's look at our futurecast for today going into tomorrow, and we're looking at temperatures there into the lower to middle 90s. An isolated shower showing up on futurecast, but I really don't even see that today. It looks pretty dry, and then we'll back off into the 80s this evening, so heading out to dinner, you'll be fine, just very warm. Crank that AC, and then as we head towards, say, tomorrow morning, I think we'll be lower than this. We'll see some middle to lower 70s as we start off on Wednesday afternoon, back up into those lower to middle 90s, and we'll have to deal with heat once again, but you notice nothing showing up on radar. Expecting another dry day on Wednesday. Now here's what I was talking about, the cluster of showers and thunderstorms across the northeastern Gulf, area disturbed weather. Hurricane Center's watching this whole area, and they're thinking that there could be maybe some development here over the next 7 days. Short term, probably not. We're looking at a 0% chance over the next 48 hours, but in the next 7 days, they are thinking there could be some development here, especially over towards Florida, maybe up towards the southeastern U.S. Once again, too far east for us. But if you have travel plans here for the holiday weekend, maybe Saturday into Sunday, from the Carolinas all the way down into Georgia and Florida, keep an eye on this area. We could see some development as far as maybe a tropical system, tropical storm, something like that. Some of the computer models are indicating maybe something forming out here. So that's why the Hurricane Center has gone ahead and said, you know, we're watching this area. We'll keep an eye on it. So right now, nothing out there, nothing organized. I don't expect anything probably through 4th of July, but after that, we could maybe see some development here. Our coastal marine forecast calling for a little bit of a southwesterly wind at 5 to 10 knots along the coast, seas around 2 feet. Next high tide is going to be tonight at 9:53. Low tides, our next low tide is going to be at 4:04. Our sun sets at 8:21. Water temperature at 85. Current conditions out of Texas Point, we're seeing generally a southeasterly wind, 7 to 8 miles per hour. So not too bad there, and just a light chop on the inland lakes and bays. Looking at forecast for today, we're looking at temperatures generally into the middle 90s from 90, say 3 to about 94 along the coast. We'll see some upper 80s, maybe right at 90 for places like Sabine Pass with that wind coming in off the Gulf of Mexico. Partly cloudy skies, a little bit of a southwesterly wind today between about 3 and 8 miles per hour. And then for tonight, we're expecting to see once again dry conditions, partly cloudy, a little bit of a light west wind between 2 to 7 up in the lakes, about 3 to 8 here in the triangle. And we're looking at temperatures right there into the middle 70s, 75 to say 76 around the triangle here, maybe even a little bit warmer. Orange typically is hotter, so we want 79 Orange, 78 Bridge City, and then all the way down to about say 72, 73 up towards Jasper, Burkeville, and Newton. A little bit cooler conditions to start off on Wednesday. As you see, we've taken rain out of the forecast all the way through Saturday. Now each day I won't say we won't be completely dry. There might be an isolated shower, but it would be very isolated. Nothing to really write home about there. And you notice temperatures holding right around 94. Now might not hit 94 every day like we have forecasted here, but it'll be around 94 degrees as far as afternoon highs, maybe even a little bit hotter towards the lakes, 95, 96 on some afternoons. And with the humidity, that heat index is going to be up around 105, 106. You'll need to take care with some water, some breaks, get into the AC from time to time, especially as we head towards Friday. A lot of folks like to be outside doing things on 4th of July, heading out to the lake, something like that, out in the boat. Make sure you stay hydrated there. Swimming in the water is great, but you still need some hydration inside you. Also, if you can, just take a break. Sit down if you're out swimming or whatever. Give yourself a break from time to time. Make sure the little ones do that, even though they can go. Make sure that they can, just sit down, give them a sandwich or a cookie and say, just rest a few minutes. All right, here is what we're looking at for your weekend. Saturday, no rain, but Sunday about a 30% chance of a few showers popping up across the area. Probably be afternoon, late in the day, so most of Sunday I think will be fine. 93 for a high there, and then on Monday about a 20% chance of a couple of scattered showers popping up on Monday at high of about 92, so not too bad there for the start of next week. At least it's not that 60, 70, 80% coverage of rain that we saw over last week. Last Sunday was very wet. Once again, if you're just joining us, kind of joining us halfway through, here's your 4th of July forecast as far as Friday night is concerned. Lower 80s, mostly clear, light south winds. Looks like it's going to be a great night to watch some fireworks. If you're shooting them off yourself, be careful. Try not to hold any fireworks and light them. I know some folks like to be tough and think that they can do that, but yeah, just set them on the ground and shoot them off. I've had a couple of friends that thought they were pretty cool and lost, one of my friends lost a finger one time, but we won't go into that. We'll look at outside. Once again, we're going to be dealing with these kind of milky skies across the area through the next several days. Even up towards the lakes area, they're seeing the same type of conditions. Not too many clouds, but they got that little film, that little Saharan dust overhead. All right, well, we're going to get ready to wrap this up. Let me check the phone real quick and see if we got any questions real quick before we get off this stream in less than a minute. Hold on one second.